Home is the one place in all this world where hearts are sure of each other. It is the place of confidence. It is the place where we tear off the mask of guarded and suspicious coldness, which the world forces us to wear in self-defense, and where we pour out the unreserved communications of full and confiding hearts. It is the spot where expression of tenderness gush out without any sensation of awkwardness and without any dread of ridicule. Frederick W. Robertson. Hello, welcome to FireFLy Moon Tarot. If you are returning to me, I welcome you back into the space. If this is your first time, I just hope that you were guided here by your spirit guides, because there's a message in this for you. Now, this is a moon reading channel, so this is about what your moon sign is, and it's helped you to navigate the energy that cycles through our lives most frequently, which is the moon. And this is going to be the Sea Mother's full moon, which is the archetypical moon moon symbol. It is the archetypical moon energy. And one of the archetypes of this moon is Yamaya, who is the goddess of water bodies, so the ocean, lakes, rivers, seas, and the such. She imbues her fertility upon the entire world, unlike the Empress, who is pretty much, picks and chooses who receives that nurturing energy. This time of the year, because it is in your, the moon is in your house or in your sign, Cancer, this is not going to last. This energy around this moon is not going to last you just the moon cycle. It could actually extend for the entire year. Now, a couple things about this moon. You may be drawn to participate in life in the context of you're seeing it not as logic or with words, but instead images and feelings. So a lot of life can be interpreted through images or how you feel about situations, not just the logic behind the situation. So, knowing this energy, it will help you identify the points in which you start doing that, and will help you navigate how to respond or how to successfully come out of a situation. It can also, the Sea Mother's moon can fluctuate from time to time, and that means that you could be all loving in one moment and withholding in the next. There's a lot of representation. I've already shuffled your cards, and I have meditated on your cards. In fact, I am using the Fairies healing deck in this, as far as oracle cards are concerned this time, because I really feel that there needs to be a healing message for this moon, because like I said, it can be quite temperamental. I'm going to just start dealing out the cards as I talk about the moon. Even my channeled messages were really like two opposing forces going at it and fighting, like battling, literally battling. Cancer itself, rules the fourth house of foundation, family, fertility, and it's all about creating that security and safety, which is what Cancers in general seek. So this is going to bring into questions your feelings of safety and security and what that means to you and how to address it, because what you're going to do in all instances is you're going to try and avoid vulnerability at all costs, or any sense of vulnerability. And this year may be excessively vulnerable. You may feel bouts of vulnerability, and this will disrupt your energy and harm you and cause disharmony. All right? So far everything is in reverse, so that about disharmony is not surprising. Oh, but in here we're starting to get some things upright. Fantastic. As we continue going, there's also a little bit of your connection to intuition is going to also be higher during this time period, because Cancer itself and the moon itself are connected to very intuitive energies, female energies, And so definitely trust that feeling that you're having when you are having it. The best thing to do is to not actively either ignore it or do the opposite of what it's telling you to do. Don't actively, step on your own foot, as so to say. This could actually reap really positive benefits because it'll help guide you through situations, whether to trust someone or not to trust someone, when you're getting these intuitive messages from spirit. It will help you avoid certain situations. Like I'm bringing to mind this one time, and I was given the option 3 times. And it didn't happen just like when I had my DUI, but also when I got my car radio stolen and broken into. Like, I literally had, like, someone asked me if, I'll just drive you home. 3 times. They asked me 3 times, and I said no each time, and that's the time I got my DUI. And now the time that, my car radio was stolen, I asked myself, I'm like, should I take my car radio out tonight? Should I not? Should I? I'm like, And I finally, I went against it, knowing that the reason this thought was coming to me right now and why I kept asking myself that was somebody was trying to tell me, yeah, you need to take your car radio with you because it's about to get jacked that night. And so it did, and I did get a DUI. Now I learned lessons in all these instances, but I would have preferred, not to have gone through those situations. I guess I was young, so I guess that is a good time to go through these kind of situations. All right. So what we have here in the first pile so far is an Emperor in reverse, a Page of Cups. Oh, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck as well. I was drawn to use this instead of the Divine Tarot. Something about the energy right now, just obviously I feel like it needed color. The Emperor in reverse, in the headspace, the Page of Cups in our present future in reverse, the Sun in reverse, and the 10 of Wands in reverse in our past. All right. I am going to have to change the outlay of the screen. Sorry. I had to change, I guess, the ratio of the screen so you can actually see the cards. Then in the middle, we have our 4 of Cups upright, our 6 of Cups upright, our 2 of Swords, and our King of Cups in reverse. Now, yep, it's going to fall out. There we go. Okay. And in the last pile here that we have the Queen of Wands upright, the 8 of Cups in reverse, the World upright, and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And the energy, the bottom of the deck, is the 3 of Cups. So community may be really important. Like I said, I was seeing like full-on battles, like knowing the team, knowing what side you're on, knowing your companions and your nakama, so comrades, is probably an important message right now for you during this next year. It's going to be, keep your friends close and understand that even if that you are in conflict with a people or a group of people, you probably have a lot in common with them as far as life experience or social experiences, something along those lines. Like you just adapted differently to it, and just your underrooting personality handles situations differently than them and sees the right thing to do through different lens. It's very interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, so I've already went through everything. So what we have here, this Emperor in reverse and this Sun in reverse. This Page of Cups. Something didn't work out, and it did cause you a lot of hurt and pain. Or it felt like something didn't work out, and the reason it didn't work out because the situation was just burdensome. This could have been a relationship, which I see between the Emperor and the Sun, which is a Leo and an Aries. This could be a work relationship with a boss, like you decided to take an opportunity, like an opportunity was awarded to you, and you thought it was just the great opportunity for you, and it turned out to be nothing but unnecessary stress. And even I'm getting the feeling of when you feel like mentally denigrated, like someone just emotionally abused you, like it was just self-defacing, like this person, you know, what you thought was going to lead to an opportunity where you could become a leader of some sort, or you become an icon, you become, you know, a master in your field of some sort. You'll be recognized, you know, for being a master in some way. And it hasn't turned out that way with the Sun in reverse. Now, Sun in reverse isn't a totally bad card. It's not what your expectations were, because it just, there's some kind of kind of temperament. There's a almost aggression to it. There shouldn't be an aggressive situation going on in this environment. Hostility is the word I'm looking for. There's some hostility happening in this situationship. That might actually, because I accidentally said that, that might be an actual apply to someone. And this hostility is definitely between someone who is in or feels like they are the emperor. They may have a false perception of their worth, and they are trying to denigrate you because of their insecurities, basically. And you thought this was really going to be your opportunity to shine. Now, what I'm seeing in a sense, and it was, you thought that this was you thought this opportunity was going to be the end of worrying about things like this. You know, the end of worrying about food on the table, end of worrying about clothes on your back, end of worrying about rent for where you live, end of worrying about just in general whether you would have to, the stability of something, like relocate or rely on something else. There was a sense that this opportunity was going to be the answer. Whatever this opportunity, again, this could have been a relationship, this could be a job opportunity, but what it was is something that you were emotionally connected to, and you thought it really was like, you know, when pigs fly. This was your when pigs fly situation. And you had the opportunity to, something that you did, you were passionate and you loved, you could have, you know, you're emotionally connected to the objective of it. Now what we have here in the middle, the Four of Cups, upright, the Six of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the King of Cups in reverse. There was something, a message about the King of Cups in reverse earlier that I think applied to you. I hope it comes to me. This is how I see you feeling right now. This is literally how I see you feeling. I never have it easy. You know, why can't, I wish it would go back to this time where I didn't have to worry about all these burdens. Like, why do I have to constantly deal with this? Why do things never work out the way that I want them to work out? Am I just bad at reading situations? Am I, you know, just destined to be, these are your words, a failure? Am I destined, you know, to choose the wrong lover, to pick the wrong job, to have the wrong friends? Where in actuality, I think in this case, you're really not listening to your intuition and what the Spirit is trying to tell you. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. You are choosing it, the hard path. There is some unhealthy relationship that you have around the storyline of this situation, of a situation, and you keep reinforcing it. You're self-propagating this issue, and it is probably the unhealthy relationship about whether you're negative in your thoughts about something, you're negative in your beliefs about something. You blame other people for situations. It is because you don't have a healthy perspective on the king, like a healthy King of Cups perspective. And there's a lot of work that you need to do in order to actualize this, because some of these situations are going to keep happening, where even when you have these good opportunities that come to you, somehow you are going to stick your foot in your mouth. You are going to trip over your own feet. You are going to, cheat on a question that doesn't, that cheat off of someone who doesn't know what they're doing. It's just, it's almost like you have too many voices in your head. And in this case, I'm feeling negative voices. And that's your self-propagating vision. So I see this pile as being your personal energy right now. And this is something I think, like I said before, because this is this Cancer moon for you, since you are Cancer moons, it is the energy for this is going to last a year. So the entire purpose of what this cycle, this moon cycle, is about for you over these next, like, really 8 to 10 months is you need to work on this personal growth. Now, if you were actually honest with yourself about, being nostalgic about the things that were, and having it a little bit easier when things were carefree, when you didn't have to worry about your loved one dying of cancer, or you not having the money to take care of this person because somebody else did, like, you'll see that even when you were younger, it wasn't all that good. You just couldn't blame anybody else for your situation, or you could, because it's not that you had anyone to blame, because you weren't responsible for any of your situations. You were literally a dependent of someone else's. And now you're going into the path of being dependent, and this push that you've made so far into a situation, what you thought was going to release you from all these burdens, you wanted to be more independent, and you wanted to be stronger and self-sufficient, and stand out on your own 2 feet. You wanted to rule the Mars. You wanted to take on the world. You're realizing that this opportunity to do that obviously isn't the opportunity either. It's like your dreams are being crushed in a way. And you might have been naive about the situation, like understanding what a certain level of adulthood meant, because you went into it like just like putting all your energy into it, like really open about it, like thought that you could be honest and supportive of a situation and be yourself, when you realize, when you enter this shared space, that everybody had these rules that they wanted to institute on you about how you could perform or act. Now over here, I have the Queen of Wands, which is a lovely, lovely Leo card. So we have Aries, Leo, the world, I think, is ruled by Jupiter. I'm not sure. The Queen of Wands is the only, which I find it very interesting. It's the only queen or king in the deck that doesn't have a crown. So I always feel like she doesn't need a crown to rule. Nobody's going to mistake her for not being a ruler. She is just a natural guiding light. And this 8 of Cups in reverse. Now, I usually kind of like to see that the 8 of Cups in this sense is because you're walking towards a bright horizon, that you thought you lost everything, but you still have that inspiration, that cup of inspiration, that cup of hope, that light that, in essence, you can use to guide you, right? And I mean, in this horizon, what looks like, even like stepping out and like making those footprints in the sand is important, about leaving your mark, like understanding where you came from. Now in reverse, we have this, but we also have the World. I'm also getting real unhealthy relationships with money. I don't know if you used to steal from people, or some of you used to steal things from people, or steal money, or cheat on your taxes, or I'm just getting real unhealthy, like toxic relationship with currency. Now this World, right underneath the Queen of Wands, I want to feel like this is a positive card. This is, you know, cosmic geometry. This is all the essence and energy of the universe coming in and creating divine patterns for you. I'm not sure if that's Ouroboros. It looks like, yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, it's a thinner, less aggressive looking Ouroboros. Is the snake head here eating its own tail. And it's in the colors of like a chakra. The different colors of the chakra. A bit. I feel like I'm missing the blue. So your throat chakra may be important. So, if I see this as where you are right now, and as I said, the energy surrounding you at this time is keeping those who care about you close and understanding the value in that. That sometimes it's more important to have those people who trust you, love you, and support you than all the money in the world. That if you don't appreciate, you know, what you have, you could lose everything. And there's always someone willing to stick by you and an opportunity willing to stick with you. I mean, I see, you know, really coming over some pessimism this year. Now, what I think what this is also telling you, so this situation that surrounds you. So this is the situation here. This is where you are. This is the situation. And what I'm seeing about this situation here and how it's all in reverse is that this opportunity actually is the opportunity you thought it would be. In the essence, like it is something that you can truly enjoy and thrive at. You're just not approaching it with the correct, I don't want to say correct because there's no like incorrect. You are not adapting to the situation. Like, I believe that you can make this really the successful outcome that you want to. You're just being a negative Nelly about certain situations. Every obstacle, let's say every countermeasure to a play on a chessboard, you are giving up instead of playing the game out. You are succumbing too often to issues where instead you should be promoting your ideas more. You shouldn't, you should not be dimming your light. If you have these ideas, because this was normally like the color just screams solar plexus chakra, right? But in actuality, you can see that it's connected to her crown chakra. And this might actually be closer to your spirit or your soul chakra, which is above your head. And there's obviously some ideas you have and some goals you want to achieve. And these goals are connected to a sense of creating a spirit about the situation, a real brand around the situation. And you have been dimming yourself, and I feel like you go home every day and you complain about this situation or this individual specifically that is in and hindering you because of their own insecurities, because if this is an emperor in reverse situation as well, it's an individual who has emperor capabilities, but they are not fulfilling their potential. They are a toxic version of an emperor. And, it doesn't take much for an emperor to become a toxic energy. It's a really fine, like, balance. And, you know, because if they feel like they have to battle, if they're going to battle every day, which is all that Mars energy that you have in there, that's obviously something that projects onto everybody in their surroundings, that they have to feel like they have to battle every day, which means they're either on the defensive or the offensive. And that can get absolutely exhausting. And that's where this exhausting I'm getting from, you know, like you just want it to end. Like you thought this would be the end. Like you thought this whole situation would be end of your burdens, but you're still in that burden situation. You know, it's not ending. You're not at the end of the road. It's like you literally have to turn around and reclimb that same mountain. So, and I think that this situation is something you can turn around. Definitely don't walk away from it. Don't walk away from this opportunity, because, you know, this is all about walking away from something. I feel like because it's in reverse, it's telling you not to walk away from it. Like there's still something to save out of this. There's still an opportunity to make this what you want to make it. And it is going to take a lot of Queen of Wands energy, because if there's anyone who can compete with an Emperor in reverse, it is a Queen of Wands. Absolutely. And she's in the upright, which means she's 100% healthy energy. And you can inspire the people around you. Now, you don't want to create a toxic work environment where you're ganging up on the other person. But if you gain the trust and support of the people around you, then it's not as much a battle as just a natural outcome. And this is done. You have to prove your worth in the essence that you have to make sure that you're on your AA game. Like whatever it is that you produce for this situation, or if you're approaching this in the relationship, you need to be like, okay, let's go back to the first one, which I said is a job experience of some sort. This is a professional or academic situation. You need to go into that with that positive, joyous, kind of spiritual, empathetic energy that the Queen of Wands does. Like just lights up a room, you know, with positive energy. None of this negative Nelly stuff. And the world, you have to understand that once you do this cycle, this opportunity to, sorry, I'm trying to get it to not shine. By not giving up on this could be, you know, really the wish you were asking for. This could be the cycle that changes your life. This could be the opportunity that sets things in motion for you regarding like future achievements. It'll also give you a sense of independent spiritual healing. I believe that this will offer you like a knowing, like as well, if you look kind of at, you know, this stream of, let's see if I can get it where you can see it without the glare. This stream of light coming here. It's almost the same stream of light as going there, like it's connected somehow, you know? And this was meant to be set into your path so you could achieve this. And one of the ways that you're going to get to this Queen of Wands is somehow your relationship with a formal institution that represents your purse. And I don't mean like a accessory purse, but in the old British, like the version of a purse is how much money you have, how much money you carry, what is in the coffers, you know? So it's saying don't give up on this situation. And it's not saying don't give up on this situation because the money. It's saying don't give up on this situation because it is a lesson in life that you will need to overcome so you can become a higher grade individual. Because what this place that you're in now, honestly, is just real self-defeating. Very emo. And, you know, if you look at this girl, people can look at her and think, oh, she's got it all. Look at how pretty she is. That straight blonde hair. And she's so stylish. And she gets to enjoy her beautiful days outside. And, you know, that's not how you see yourself. So, really, you need to start seeing yourself how other people see you. And I think this community, these are the people who see you that way, that understand you and your light, you know, and they're there to support you. Absolutely. Now, if it's a love situation, this may be a new love and you left an old love for it. And you're going through that whole, did I make the right choice? And you may have, you're like, my old lover was, you know, rich. I never had to worry about money, but I had to worry about everything else, like possibly their anger and such. And this new offering came in. You thought this was the answer. And I always, listen, I think you'll hear me say this if you continue to watch me. Don't get into a relationship because you're lonely. All right? Because that is just an impetus to tell you that it's not that you're unhappy in your relationships. It's you are unhappy as a person, and your relationships will only continue to reflect that unhappiness if you don't address the issue of your own self-worth. Now, you can continue to have relationships and, you know, get married even and have relationships, but you'll just continue to have new relationships. You won't ever be in a solid, dedicated, one-on-one committed relationship because you never deal with the you that needs addressing, which is someone who really needs to learn to find an alternative path to accepting compassion and those kind of reliance, that reinforcement sometimes that sexual relationships give you, you know, about your worth. You need to find your own worth. And it's telling you, you know, that's what this Queen of Wands is here. This is finding your worth. I mean, the highest of values. I mean, she doesn't need anyone. She can look good in anything she wears. She's just got that smile, you know. She literally lights up gardens of fire. And if it is a relationship, you may want to take a step back from it, in the essence that not ending the relationship possibly, but maintaining distance is keeping your own life. Stop living their schedule. Start putting your foot down and like, this is what I need to do. This is what I want to do. You know, it's definitely, it'll be freeing. It'll be a lot freeing. It'll end some of these bad relationship cycles that you have been in, from what I see here. And you don't have to go after somebody who you think will provide you. I know it's really hard to say, Cancer, because like I said earlier, you are someone who craves that foundation and that stability, because you don't like that context of being vulnerable. Not knowing that some of these situations, when you focus too much on the family, that may, like on someone who can provide for you and not providing for yourself, you are actually putting yourself in a situation that makes you more vulnerable, because you've become dependent on somebody else's security, not your own. So making sure that your own purse is in order. It doesn't have to be just about somebody else's purse. All right? Okay, I'm going to get the healing message now for this pile. I will read directly from the guidance book, because like I said, I really feel like a healing message is in order this time. This full moon is, I'm not even a water sign and it's affecting me already, I can feel, all right? So Spirit, please guide my beautiful Cancer moons towards the healing message they need for this situation. And not surprising that we get two. There needs to be a lot of healing that's going on here. Like I said, this entire message is about healing. Like, this is where you are, and this is the situation you're in, and this is how you need to get to a place where you can become the Queen of Wands. All right, so let's see what Spirit here has to say for you, and then I will read out of the book. Like what I was saying, honoring your true feelings. this is that aspect I was saying with this Eight of Cups, is it's not about completely walking away from an individual. It's about accepting your agency in the situation and accepting who you are. It's also what I was saying about the sun upright. Like if it's a work situation, is you need to, battle with this Emperor intelligently. Absolutely. Don't just, because like I said, there's a chess piece in there. It's not, you need to be strategic about the way in which you approach the situation. And the second one, parenting and children. Very interesting. So this, definitely some of the burdens that you carry here was about being a parent and not being able to provide for them efficiently. So, and definitely looking back on when things were easier, or even when your kids were younger and you didn't have to worry as much, or you didn't have to worry about their independence. So you could be the parent, and this is your child, and you're watching them go through this situation. But let me read from the book for honoring your true feelings. Of course, and the light just went out. I can barely, my glasses also. This print is so tiny. Okay. So the card meaning. Let me put this up. By drawing this card, you're urged to listen to and follow your true feelings. Again, this goes to the intuition. I said at the very beginning, this year will be very strong intuitive messages to you. Please follow them. Do not betray yourself or rationalize that it is acceptable to deny your inner voice of truth. Okay? Like what I was saying. You have an inner counselor who is very wise. This source of wisdom speaks to you in both physical and emotional ways. Perhaps you have gut feelings that are speaking loudly to you, or physical reactions to situations such as a tightened jaw or a nervous stomach. I'm sorry, I cannot get this one to not, oh wait, maybe I can hold it like that. You may feel compelled to leave a particular situation that is unacceptable. Your heart may be drawing you towards a particular geographical location, a specific career, or a certain type of a relationship. The fairies know the importance of heeding their own feelings, and they ask you to do the same. They say, please don't discount what you know to be true in your heart. Follow your emotions, as they are your inner compass that will steer you home and keep you warm, safe, supported, and joyous. If you are unclear about which emotions you're experiencing, write down your thoughts and feelings in a journal to gain clarity and understanding. The affirmation for this card, if you want to repeat, I listen to, honor, and follow my true feelings, knowing that they are answers to my prayers. I listen to, honor, and follow my true feelings, knowing that they are answers to my prayers. I listen to, honor, and follow my true feelings, knowing that they are answers to my prayers. Oh goodness, I'm going to have to pick that up after I do this. All right, and the second one, for those who may be dealing with this, is your child that you're dealing with, and not a young child, but parents never stop being parents, so I'll do that later. Did it focus? Okay. A positive change is occurring for you in the area of parenting. An unexpected occurrence will herald a happy outcome between you and a parent, a child, or both. So you may be definitely the parent, you may be getting closer to your child due to the situation, because the situation was actually causing a rupture in your relationship. All right? So they're turning to you for help, and you're like, yes. Yes, baby, I'm here for you. Family units are extremely important to the fairy realm. They understand the value of taking care of these relationships. The fairies never allow hurt feelings to fester. They promptly discuss misunderstandings, and they share their feelings honestly with one another. By drawing this card, you are urged to face up to any ill feelings you may have with family members and take human and spiritual steps to effect a healing. This card may also signal that a new family member is coming into your life. This could mean a new child or a new family member by marriage. It could also signify the return of a family member with whom you've lost contact. These changes come to you on a heaven's wings, meaning that you are safe, protected, and will derive enjoyment from them. So this card here definitely represents nostalgia, things from the past returning, and this could be the child that, or the individual that returns to you. It might have been a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. I mean, since you're a Cancer water sign, you may have other water signs in your family that may have been going through possible mental health issues or drug addiction issues. Now, your affirmation for this card, I'll repeat it again 3 times. I have happy parent and child relationships. I allow my heart to open up so that I can feel compassion and love for all members of my family. I have happy parent and child relationships. I allow my heart to open up so that I can feel compassion and love for all members of my family. I have happy parent and child relationships. I allow my heart to open up so that I can feel compassion and love for all members of my family. This is a very dark looking, card. Like one of you, like if you're a child, you may have been leaving your parents out in the dark. If you're a parent, your child may have been leaving you out in the dark. You just felt disconnected and detached from them. And you're looking to grow closer together. All right? All right, perfect. Okay. Now I am moving on to the clarification sun cards. So you can either stay along with me here, or you can join me at the other end of me shuffling these out. Your timestamps can be found in the description box. And don't forget the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. Oh, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe, actually, if you even enjoy these. I do appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Ooh, there's that 4 cups. That is Aries. That is Taurus. That is Gemini. Next up is Cancer. Thank you, Spirit. Next up, Cancer. All right, and then we have Leo. And Virgo. Ending this off with Virgo. All right, next up we have Libra. This is from Libra, that Scorpio. What do we have? Okay, that was Scorpio. Sagittarius. What is the message, Spirit, here for our Sagittarius? Can you please guide them for their highest good? Well, thank you very much. After subject, check Capricorn. Oh, all right. It's Aquarius. And lastly, Pisces. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, my Cancer moons, my Aries sun. For you, we have the 4 of Cups. Okay, so since the 4 of Cups came out in the reading, this is literally upright. This is just clarification that Aries, this is you in your head. And because we have the Emperor in reverse, which is an Aries card, you may actually be this individual that you've become someone you don't like. Your position or situation, whether it's in a loving relationship or in a sexual relationship or a job, it has turned you into a very aggressive, dominant, and manipulative figure, and you don't like who you are. Now, you can change yourself. It's not a question about that. You're for some reason, you feel like you have to be this person, that the situation is making you be this person, you know, this unhealthy emperor. Now, Gladys Bentley, she did have to, if it would just focus. Gladys Bentley, she was comfortable in who she was in the beginning of her career. And then due to the FBI's increased interest in the LGBTQA community, she was, and even the McCarthy and his whole Red Scare issue, like, because they belonged to an other sector of society, they were deemed red listed as, you know, communists and stuff like that. So went through some really hard times, and he adapted to being an identity in which he wasn't, which was a female, because that's what society wanted of her right now. But it did nothing but he did not reap the benefits and rewards during that time as much as he did when he was his true self, which was as a man, or performing as a man. So this is a real lesson for you, that this emperor that you think you have to be, this, you know, aggressive, kind of overtly dominant and verbally abusive boss, is not one that you actually have to be in order to succeed. And in fact, I would say that there's probably some real negative team comments about you, which may affect your bonus. And you feel like, I think maybe you got a raise, and that's why you feel like this responsibility is requiring you to act like other people have acted, and you don't have to, even though it's not who you are. So you feel like you've just been like thrust into this situation, and you wish you could return to when you were just an employee and not the boss. And that may be one of the questions you're asking yourself is, can I make this much money by not being the boss someplace else? And there's a really good Freakonomics episode about, you know, people being promoted to their incompetence, like to a certain level. Like, they think they want something, they get to it, and they're just not good at it. It's not who they are, and it ends up really affecting them emotionally, and that also in effect affects their outside world, their relationships, their home life, their friendships, anything like that. The family, it could definitely affect the family if this is coming up. And so I'm seeing Aries, like this is just a real reinforced message for you, is that you may be the one where your energy is all mixed up and you're not the you who you know you to be. And something has created a toxic version of you. And the burden is becoming almost uncarryable. And it's a warning to you that if you don't take the time now to do the work and end this cycle, it will continue on. And it will not be good for you in the end, mentally or physically, because these mental issues can really take a toll on your health, your general overall well-being. I mean, heart disease in the U.S. isn't a #1 death killer or killer for no reason, you know. The person, a Queen of Wands, may actually be in your vicinity to help you out with this. This may be your mother, who you thought always had it together, juggled a million things, you know, the Nancy Pelosi of mothers, right? And she's willing to help you out. Now, she might have always financially supported you during things, and you don't want that kind of support from her anymore because you're able to step out on your own. Like this is your, you know, you got the raise, and you got the position. So you don't want that kind of help from her, you know, because you want to release from that toxic relationship with money. But she's there to help you in other ways. And it's just general support. If you're willing to reach out, you know, and accept this cup, you know, the healing can begin. And this isn't that she's going to heal you. Just offering the support, and you need to heal yourself. right? Don't walk away from the situations that you know you have to deal with. Because there are people who will support you and get you through it. You just don't, it's not just walk away from, and it's not discard. I'm getting like a feeling of dissipate and disintegrate. And I think that also has to do with that. Don't diminish your energy around the situation, right? And definitely lean on those people in your community. There's reason to celebrate in the end. Getting through this next year will be worth celebrating, definitely. This isn't going to be an easy year for you, specifically regarding this situation, because it is going to overflow into different aspects of your life, which is going to make it you feel like it's harder to get through. And you're going to start feeling more discriminated even in your personal life and not just your work life if you don't start working through this now. And it's going to take some time to work through it. It doesn't happen overnight. But not dealing with it and not working through it is worse, than letting it go. All right? Okay, thank you very much, my Cancer moons, my Aries sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, my Cancer moons and my Taurus suns. You got 2 cards, and they came out plop right on top of each other. One is going to be the Ace of Swords, and the other one is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is, I'm getting work related. This is definitely financial related in a sense. Now, what I'm getting is you might be working on a project, like a literal project management of some sort, and you have an idea of how to achieve the outcome of this project, or you have an idea of how to brand this project, and it is not in line with how they have been doing things or what has been predominantly the way of messaging at this company. Your idea is to pretty much throw out the same old that they've been working on and try something new. And normally this can be a good idea, like especially if the people who are working there are out of date. Like this may be something as integrating a new kind of software program that helps, manage the project for all the participants, not just the people on the team, but possibly the client as well. Your idea may be creating and consolidating relationships between this. This may be an idea that costs more money, but your hope brings in more returns in the end, because maybe it's an investment that you have to put into it in order to reap more benefits. And they might be tight on the money situation. So you're real hesitant about sharing this new idea. I would say with this energy is the idea is worth it. It's definitely worth it committing to. Now, how to introduce this new idea, I would say, is a situation where you are gonna, like this Queen of Wands energy is bringing all the fire towards you, all that energy towards you. So somehow consolidating the people within the team, on the team, within the organization, start like those networking opportunities you have at work, and listening to people complain, because that's all people at work want to complain about, what's not working and who's not working. And really, I would go in this with a clear, like, because I have this swords thing and this Queen of Wands, like standing in a certain sense of your power and confidence. And the way that I see you achieving that confidence is you might have to put out a prospectus of how this idea of yours would actually affect the project long term. And not just this project, but because you've had input from various different teams or various different actors within this environment and landscape that it could help them. You know, it is hard to introduce new processes into organizations, especially if they're large and bloated. I have had problems doing that. But one of also the easiest ways to make sure it gets done is actually just taking the initiative yourself to do it. And when you set yourself up as the leader of that initiative and, you know, market it into the daily, you know, end of days, like what needs to get done and certain like things like that, eventually it just becomes so routine. And if it's not done, you have people asking, wait, why isn't this included? Why did we not take this into account? Who was supposed to be doing this? So it's kind of a slow moving process, and you need to take the initiative to either, because if it's something that doesn't cost anything and it just costs your extra work, or in this case, you know, this is an active, like Bessie Coleman, you know, she had an idea. She wanted to be a pilot. She wanted to have a pilot's license. She wanted to own a plane. She went out and she made that happen. People told her she couldn't, she wouldn't, there's no way. She did it. It's done. And now her, you know, her footprint is forever in the aeronautical history, right? So, I mean, it's just, yeah, taking the action. Now, it might be burdensome at first, but I think it'll reap some rewards. It may not, in the sense of you're not going to be financially compensated for this in a direct context, but long-term effectiveness of being that kind of innovative team player that helps, you know, introduce better processes. You know, if it's a KPI, you know, that's all management is really concerned with, or whether what your key performance indicators are and what your management information says at the end of the week. And if you're making it more effective for both theirs and the next stream down the line, then nobody's going to complain about it. And eventually they'll start seeing you as someone who can lead a team. And then you go from team leader to, you know, VP to manager, and then senior manager, and then director. So it's just, but again, like I was mentioning about that Freakonomics episode, is you can promote to your incompetence. You know, there'll be a certain level in which you don't want to do it, okay? All right, thank you very much. And Taurus, this is, I mean, of course, it has to do with, you know, worldly kind of earthly possession stuff, things, which makes sense for you, right? Thank you very much, our Cancer Moon, Taurus Sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, my Cancer Moon and my Gemini Sun. You have the Two of Pentacles. So, you know, Florence Nightingale went against her parents' wishes, and basically her the patriarch wishes, as being part of kind of a high society British family. And she sought a career that helped people. And she is kind of the mother of modern day nursing. So this decision that you have to make, especially since I pulled this family card. Now, it may go against what your family wants or what your family thinks they want for you right now, but the decision that you make and your ability to be ultra successful and recognized for the value that you create in this situation will have much better long-term relevance to your own life on this earth, to your own story in this universe, to your own karmic lessons for this lifetime. It's also telling you that, you know, like this whole negative Nelly attitude of kind of reminiscing on when things were easier and why did everything have to be so hard? Like, and it's telling you that you have to, you know, you don't give up on this situation. You have to actively participate to make it better. And it's telling you that you can juggle those things. You can do what is required or asked of you. It may not be required of you. It could be asked for you, and you step up and you do it. It's a very, it's a very successful stepping stone opportunity for you. Now is the time to make that decision. And like I said, though, this energy will be protractively following you for the next 9 months to 10 months, right? So it's not a decision that you may have to make right now. You are probably slowly starting to see the situation arise, and it is going to come to a crossroads where you have to make a choice within yourself which direction you want to go. And really the cards is recommending that you don't walk away from the situation, that there is something fruitful in this opportunity and that you can make the best of it. And what the Two of Pentacles is telling you, Gemini, is that you can do it. It is absolutely possible, and that it will be a good choice. All right? Yes. Yep. That's what I'm getting for you. Cancer, Moon, Gemini, Sun. Now, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me. This is going to be Cancer, Cancer. So this is if you're a Cancer Moon and a Cancer Sun. Now, you got the Sun card. This time, though, it is in the upright. So it's not reversed. So, this is very interesting, Cancer. Since, this majority of this reading revolves around a major arcana card. And this is the first major arcana. And it's the only major, the first. There's one more. Like I said, you only had 3 major arcanas in the entire reading. The Aries, the Leo, and then what's ruled by, I believe, Jupiter, the world. I don't want to say what's wrong. And the fact that it was reversed, which is an instability in your feeling of that you get to perform your actual agency of being the sun. That you don't feel like you get to show your true self. The don't dim your light. Like what I was getting earlier. And this honoring your true feelings. That same context. So for Cancer moons, I was getting that very strongly, which means that currently at this time, the group of you that are able to actually embody your true self and perform in your full agency as who you are, if you share both the moon sign and the sun sign are the same, which means you don't have any conflicting conversations with yourself about how you want to address this decision, how you wake up every day and you see yourself, the literal emotions that you carry with you at home, and the you who approaches the world or how the world sees you are the same person. So there's no conflict in that area. Now, you do understand that even regardless of this sun opportunity and how you're able to perform yourself, there is still somebody that's literally battling you every step of the way, that's preventing you from succeeding, which in this sense, this nostalgia and these decisions that you have to make, and this Four of Cups energy of, like, why does it have to be so difficult? In this essence, it's not 100% of your own making. It is literally part of the environment around you, forcing you to adjust and adapt to the situation. And this can be all these moments where you have to go through hardship are, of course, going to lead you to have conversations about your own self-worth and whether you can do something or not, and whether the you that is the you that they want. The you who you are is the you who they want. And in this case, you can only, the really advice is you can only be yourself, is what the lesson that you're going to get out of this is. Like, when you go through this dark moment, and when you experience this time of questioning your value and maybe returning to an easier place, or you wish that things were just as easy, for you as you think it is for other people. Like, maybe you look at other people and you think, oh, they always have it easy. And that may not be true. We don't know other people's situations, honestly. I mean, people can like look at me, and I'm always happy, and I project very sun energy and very Aries energy as well. So I'm confident and I handle things, but I have gone through a lot of hardships, and I've experienced, life-changing kind of moments and, decisions in my life that I had to, choose a path or the other. And some of it involved leaving a certain part of my identity behind and leaving fear behind. And they were not easy. So we can't just always assume we understand somebody's situation and think it's easy for them. What you do know and what you can know is that you know who you are. There is no question about that. Now all you have to do is work through it, because that is what's going to get through this situation. There's no avoiding this situation, I hate to say, but this is just a positive outcome. You will be the sun on the other side. And it's a major arcana card, which means this is going to lead to a very successful resolution of the situation. And the situation is going to help you achieve one of your karmic goals and your karmic cycles and move you on to this next stage, whatever is coming next for you, which I'm sure you'll be excited about, right? Just don't forget, I mean, there's definitely celebration in your future, right? Right, for sure. All right, thank you very much, my Cancer moon, my Cancer sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, my Cancer sun and my Leo moon. You have the Nine of Swords in reverse. I'm feeling this situation might have been, this is kind of like how you're coming out of this last year. This energy of what, this moon energy of what you're creating in the new year is more just, it's really more just about, knowing what you have, knowing what you've done, knowing what you've worked through, and coming out on top. Because this, Leo, past year is where I see this Nine of Swords happening. It led to a lot of sleepless nights. It led to a lot of anxious energy, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, oh my God, is this burden ever going to end? Are we ever going to get there? How many more hills do I have to climb? How many more sunsets do I have to experience before I get my sunrise? The timing of this one for you is that this could have been this last year. And now you're coming into the opportunity where, it's not quite over. I am going to tell you that. It's just, you're releasing some of the burdens. So the timing on this one, I'm feeling this timing card here is, instead of the full 8 to 9 months. Now, energetically speaking, the new year has not started yet. The new year does not start until Emperor season, which is Aries season, which is end of March, beginning of April. So what I'm feeling for you as far as this energy goes is that this, instead of the full, like I said, 8 to 11 months of this moon energy, this full moon energy is really just the crux in the time frame. You're literally in the middle of the situation, right? So when we start with the new moon is the manifestation of what's going on, and then when we get back to the full moon, it's the middle of the cycle where we are assessing, we are taking in all the lessons we've learned, what's working, what's not working. We assess them and we plan out a strategic assessment of how to go. What are the next steps? Where am I going with this? How am I reacting to this? And I feel like we are now in this full moon center where this is the time, Leo, for you to make a decision on something. And I mean, again, my advice is still don't completely walk away from it. Don't, what is it with surrender? Don't surrender your power. I mean, as a Leo, absolutely, I'm going to say don't surrender your power, because if there's nothing that is more painful than a Leo surrendering their power, and that is just going to lead you down this, further deeper down this like Four of Cups energy, this Six of Cups energy, this Two of Swords energy, and the King of Cups in reverse. You know, just not finding stability emotionally or value of your worth. It's going to lead you down this. So I feel like this Nine of Swords, Leo, sun, is definitely a mid-cycle thing, and it'll start reaching its conclusion once the end of March and April comes. So you'll start seeing some resolution coming around that time, and you'll start feeling a resolution around that time, because it's also, I do have a note. I know Jupiter is in, just a second, it just went into Aries until May. So if there's any time as well to reap the benefits of an idea, luck, taking a chance on something, putting your voice out there, now is the time, because Jupiter is in Aries. And, you know, like I said, it's around this Aries season that I feel like you're making a fluctuational turn, all right? And Jupiter is a lucky card, and Aries is all about that active energy, that battle energy. So now might be the time to actually choose to make those battles, you know, fight for things that you want and need, all right? Because you've been spending a lot of time in that anxious energy, nervous energy. All right. All right, thank you very much, my Cancer Moon and Leo Sun. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to take the short breathing exercise out at the end of this video. Thank you, love, and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, my Cancer Moon and my Virgo Sun. You have the Seven of Swords. Now, someone when I refer to this card specifically, I get that someone in a powerful position, someone of influential influence, is attempting to denigrate you, is working to, not disarm you, dethrone you in some way of wherever you are. Someone is actively working against you and does not want you to succeed at something. I would say the intuition for I'm not getting that. I mean, obviously this is what's happening. This is where you're at. This is how you get over it. And this is the situation you're in. What I'm getting regarding this is that the message for you, Virgo, is what the message that I gave at the beginning. This is the Cancer Moon time. So over the next month, you are going to get some intuitive downloads as to who this person is, and you need to cut them the hell out of your life. You need to stop speaking to them and telling them secrets. You need to make sure that they don't have access to any of your personal possessions or belongings. I hope this isn't a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a child, because it might be one of those three. I'm getting that. In-law even, or father-in-law. The family may not want you. I mean, if this is like a Meghan and Harry situation, this is literally the royal family coming after you, right? There's somebody that is out for you. And I don't know if they're trying to sabotage you in your work environment. I think these people are just, it seems to be an extra message just for you, Virgo, that there is someone around you that is doing you no good. And they are an energy vampire possibly as well, but you need to cut them out of your life. You are not to be the pawn in their game. So that is literally a message for someone in which they feel like they are being torn between friends, or they're being asked to do things, like to help them out with things. This may be a message as to you have probably asked yourself and questioned yourself what this person's intents are, or why they keep asking you for things, or why they keep talking to you, because you don't have anything in common, or you're not friends, or oh, it came out of the blue, like they just started talking to you and you're like, okay, yeah, sure, cool. They mean you no good, and you need to stop participating in this exchange of presence with them. Your intuition is right. You need to listen to those intuitive downloads because the Spirit is trying to send you a message about someone, all right? And they're going to prevent you from completing this karmic cycle, you know? It's like literally that voice on your shoulder to have supposedly the good one and the bad one, and it's like the bad one, you know? All right, Virgo. That is all I have for you. It is a separate message outside of the tarot reading, but I think it's a very important and direct message. If you enjoyed this guided message, then please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to watch the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, my Cancer moons and my Libra suns. So, Libra, in this is a very interesting message, in that most of the message that I got throughout the reading was don't walk away from, don't leave something, you know, don't just walk away from it. Now, this Six of Swords, I always talk about, it's not like some people like to look at it as leaving a situation or walking away from a situation. I always look at it as walking towards an opportunity and walking, you know, or in this case, it doesn't have to be while you're on a boat, being guided towards something divinely, intuitively meant for your betterment. A literal message from Spirit saying, I have your best intents in mind, and I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen for you because, you know, I am here for your highest good. And in this sense, so when I say don't walk away from something, there may be an opportunity, again, loophole kind of situation of how someone wants to define these concepts, is that you're not technically walking away from your responsibility with something, but by walking into a different opportunity, it slightly shifts the energy so you can actually create a kind of new opportunity, which you may still be in the same relationship, you may still be in the same company, you may be doing, like have the same job title, but somehow you have created an avenue for you that is a lot more healthy, a lot healthier. And I didn't know what word I was going to say, so more healthy is not a thing. Healthier. It is also allows you to, I think, be more independent in your work with the subject matter. Like I was saying, oh, maybe it was a clarification for this Two of Pentacles. Or what I was saying, in order sometimes to get processes in place in larger bloated institutions, instead of asking, you know, and going through these like long-winded things, especially if it's just a small tweak of efficiency methods, just institute it and they'll start relying on it. As long as you make it as it is an actual process development that helps, you know, integrate possible, cuts time down, adds value, and increases that end of day reports or increases your key performance indicators in some way, then once you have instituted it and other people, and then you start like guiding other people onto how to do this thing, and then different levels of the functions within a work stream actually rely on them as well. The company, people will start being like, wait, if it doesn't get done, people are like, wait, where is that report? We need that report. We need the data on this thing, or we need whatever it is that you create. So taking some proactive step towards creating and integrating this into the work stream. If it is a relationship, even if it just starts with you going to therapy on your own, like pretty soon the other person will join you, you know? Or it could also be like actually doing physical exercise. Perhaps you're on a routine, or you start rowing, perhaps you start playing tennis, perhaps you start going to outdoor volleyball. I'm not sure what it is, but if it's a relationship, that will be the I always say impetus, but what is the other? The catalyst to creating a healthy relationship between the two of you. Definitely. All right? All right. Thank you very much, my Cancer moon, my Libra sun. If you enjoyed this, oh, Marsha P. Johnson, you may want to look her up, especially if you have something to do with fashion or in the LGBTQA community. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much, my Cancer moons and my Scorpio suns. You have the Two of Swords, which I love when I get repeating, messages in these things, because it's just reinforcing the message that you took, which, we had the Four of Cups was a repeat. The Sun was a repeat. And then we got, for you, and in total, we have the Two of Swords here, Two of Swords here, Two of Pentacles here, Two of Cups here. So in some way, choice is definitely in play. There is a choice to be made, a decision, a fork in the road. This is all about a fork in the road, and it is a karmic cycle fork in the road, okay? So with you, this Two of Swords in the upright, Helen Keller, again, Helen Keller, sight and sound, seeing things or not seeing things. With these two, when the energy that I got, especially around this is you in the current situation, as being in your head, like about what decision to make, the different voices in their head, trying to learn, which ones are in it, which voices have the best intent, and which ones are just distraction voices. And whether to accept the circumstances you're in or create a better circumstance for yourself. And I'm getting that specifically out of the Helen Keller thing, because after getting sick as a child, some people can be defeated. Some soldiers come back from war, obviously. There's a lot of... the suicide rate is very high. But some people come back from a trauma and they give up on life. Where Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan, her partner, persevered. They literally created their own languages. They became representatives of an entire other community, a community that had been disenfranchised from society for a long time and were thought to just be burdens on society. They made a way to create an own avenue for themselves to be regular participants in society. So this decision that you make has the opportunity to create a new pathway for yourself that creates a new purpose for you, a new divinity for you, a new direction, kind of like a new image, for yourself. The hard part is not hating on yourself as much. And because Helen Keller couldn't have gotten anywhere without Anne Sullivan, there's a very strong message here about having the right person around you to help you make these decisions. Now, for some of that may be a mother. For some of you, a sister even. I'm going to take this parenting and children thing a little bit broader, because sisters or brothers can also be parents. And not just to you, but to their own children. And they may have the ability to process information in a way that is in line with what you need at this time, which could be more motherly parenting advice, which sometimes is not, it may not be sugar-coated. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need that. Oh, and like the message said, literally being honest with an individual in your family about how you feel. So this person may offer that, unbiased and really blunt advice that you need. And in some cases, you may feel like they're attacking you, but that's probably, not their intent, in the essence that they're hoping that no matter what it is that they say, you'll take it to heart and you'll become stronger for it. Because you can grow great things out of this is definitely what I'm seeing here. Oops, I mixed those up. Oh, sorry. When I pulled the cards out, I put them in the wrong space. But yeah, okay, so that is what I'm seeing for you, my Cancer, Moon, Scorpio, Suns. It definitely looks like you're going to have to rely on some family advice or even your soul family. Because I also want to expand that not just to, brothers and sisters, but your actual soul family, because those people can be just as important to you as well. And I mean, Helen Keller, I mean, Anne Sullivan was her soul family. They weren't related, but they were inseparable, right? All right, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, my Cancer sun and my Sagittarius, my Cancer moon, my Sagittarius sun. Four of Swords, if it'll focus. There we go. You got the Four of Swords. This is even though it's not reversed, and because this is a sword card and it's very related in me to communication as well, is that what I've been getting is you've been holding your tongue a lot in this situation. And I was feeling that during it. Like I said, you're allowing the other person to guide and to be the leader of the situation, whatever it is, yet you have ideas that you want to share. In this case, I really feel like specifically you've been holding your tongue. And you may have been holding your tongue also about the attitude that this individual brings to the workplace all the time. Like other people around you may be talking some serious shit about this Emperor in reverse, and you're just like, I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to get dragged into this because this is the energy that you're carrying right now already. You don't need any more negativity in your life when you're already having to deal with your own, questions about your self-value and your self-worth and the path that you've taken and where you're at versus where you want to be. And kind of woe is me. So you're just like, I've been holding my tongue, but there's going to be a situation where you're just going to let loose. You are going to be very forward with the situation. And I don't think it's going to be just because you just want to vent. I think a situation is going to arise where you are given the opportunity to be honest, and you are going to be done, hiding your feelings, and you're going to honor your value and your feelings, and you're going to let it go. I mean, this is a real big rest and relax kind of card, rest and reflect, right? And you haven't been getting rest. I mean, that's definitely not the situation that's been happening with this. Like the anxiety has been high. You've just been feeling burdened about it. But what you have been doing is holding your tongue, and it's about to end. That energy is about to end. You also may know something and you've been holding it to yourself about this individual, and it's going to get to a breaking point where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to let them all know. It would be almost, I don't want to say inappropriate or inexcusable for you not to. It would be, what is the word I'm looking for is the definition of it would be an individual that knows that somebody was, let's say they had an account set up that would take a penny. They had an algorithm that they wrote to take a penny out of every transaction over $1,000 in transfer funds, and they were putting it into account. Negligence. It would be negligent. Like you could be negligible for this situation because you know about it, even though you're not the one actively doing it. If you don't report the situation, you become, in a sense, an accomplice because you were negligible in doing your own due diligence and duty to make sure that there were no funny business happen. This could be maybe you're friends with their partner, and you know that one of them was cheating on the other one or something, and if there's a divorce going on and you don't mention it, it would be negligible of you because of a situation. Whatever this is, I'm getting that energy out of it, that you may know something, and if you don't say something at the time that it's brought up in a certain situation, you would be held negligible for that fact if you did not report on it. Again, the message intuitive. You need to, because this has been a time of rest and reflection for you, even though it's been burdensome. Again, Cancer moon. You are a Cancer moon. This is the Sea Mother's moon. The archetype of all moons energy. You have been receiving intuitive downloads about a situation and you have been pushing it away. You have been questioning it. Stop. Stop pushing it away. Stop questioning it. Time to listen. Time to hear. Okay? You need to listen to them. I think that, yeah, those are some pretty intense, strong messages. I think you even heard my voice, my what is it, octave just go up a bit. All right, thank you very much, my Cancer moons and my, that was Sagittarius suns. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me, my Cancer moons and my Aquarius sun. No, Capricorn suns. You got Judgment, which is right before the World, right? Okay, so, you know, the World is the ending of a karmic cycle or the very beginning of a new divination, you know, like all this sacred geometry here, all the patterns of the universe coming together to unfold in front of you as you step into a new light, right? Like right before that is the Judgment. Now, this is usually a good card. It is all about learning a long-term lesson and seeing where your role is in that lesson and coming out with it with a new reflection on your life, yourself, the world, and it leads to you being able to close out a situation. So Judgment is really also getting what you deserve in a sense. As long as you've done the work and achieved the outcome of the lesson learned, if not, it would be Judgment in reverse, would be the Judgment is as you are refusing to learn the lessons and you're going to be stuck in your ways. But this is a very positive outcome. And so what I'm seeing here is that as well, okay, hold on one second, just 1 second. Okay, so Judgment is ruled by Pluto, so it is this very deep lesson that you've had to learn. You've had to go to that dark side of the moon type stuff, like the farthest planet from our sun. So really like living in that darkness, going through this kind of these questions about your life and questions about a situation and questions about your agency. And, you know, honoring your true feelings, having the courage, definitely, which is the Queen of Wands, all about the courage that you possess in order to be that person without being any unhealthy version of a strong person, independent or otherwise. And what I'm getting out of this is that you definitely, much like the sun here, I mean, they're right on top of you. The only two major arcanas actually as well is, and this is the sun is 19, Judgment's 20, the World is 21. So, I mean, you're much farther. Both of these, this is going to be what? Cancer moon, Cancer sun, and this was Cancer moon and Capricorn sun. So you both are much farther along in this process. And not only are you farther along in this process, and you are also handling it in a very healthy way, psychologically. And I want to say in the method and means in which you participate with the people around you. You are also handling it like as, you know, an individual in a collective, right? And it's going to be successful. I mean, you're going to come out of this on top. And the other thing I get about the Judgment is literally the other person may be fired because you're coming out of this situation, whatever it is, being vindicated in essence, being proven correct. And in order for someone to be vindicated, something or someone has to be defined as being the vindicator. Vindicated? Yeah. And so this definitely might lead to somebody no longer having a position in the firm that you're working If it's a relationship, and with your child, you'll be proven correct. Yeah, it's very positive. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This hard work. It's going to take a lot of hard work, hard self-reflection work, maybe some inner child development work, because that is one way that you leave behind all these negative aspects of you, the you who existed, like these negative childlike connections, is moving forward, you know, and because there is a child in this, so you could definitely be doing that inner child work, and it's going to help heal you. I can't believe I didn't mention that earlier. Well, I'm getting it specifically as a message for you. That's probably why I didn't mention it to everyone. But that's because at your time in this pathway, at this path, like I said, you two are a lot farther along. Maybe it'll come like that for the rest of them. Or maybe they're not the type of people who will be willing to. And there's some people who are going to fail. They are going to walk away from the situation. They're not going to bother dealing with it, which means they'll just be prone to repeat it. But you will not. And it's also a fire type sign, which is very active solar plexus energy, right? Okay, so you are actively making this happen for you. Okay, thank you very much, my Cancer Sun and my Capricorn Moon. I do appreciate all the support. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning, my Cancer Moon and my Aquarius Sun. 10 of Cups, baby, emotional fulfillment. Family, work, life fulfillment is what I feel out of this. And that's what I was getting at earlier, that this situation, you feel that you are being offered, that you were offered, was literally like when pigs fly. It is the opportunity for you of your lifetime. It is this offer that you can truly be guided towards, and you could truly submit yourself to. Like, you were so excited about this opportunity, and it's caused a lot more burden. But I'm going to see this work like this. As long as you do these things, this work, this Queen of Wands, and make sure you don't walk away from it in the sense, this 8 of Cups, the cycle will end, and you'll have a healthier relationship with the material world around you and how to exist in that material world by addressing, like staying true to your feelings and addressing this, not dimming your light. Because it is going to just flourish. You are going to grow things out of this, beautiful things, beautiful fulfillment. And I think a lot of it, the answer for you is literally not connecting your value through material wealth and gain. There are plenty of other ways to fulfill yourself without it being connected to money. Now, I say this specifically because what kind of examples I am giving out of this is, yes, it doesn't mean that you won't make money off your situation, is that your goal doesn't have to be to make money. Now, she is one of the first PhD candidates to come out of Kenya as a woman, and it was in a natural science. And she eventually, she started this whole environmental movement, and eventually she started a political party, which she became the head of, and then she became the head of, the environmental department in Kenya that she basically created on her own. And she created a movement of people who care about the earth and connecting with Mother Earth. Now, she reaped benefits from her passion, from her love of the earth, and her commitment to seeking a better future for herself, knowing what her passion was. But she didn't set out, I'm just going to make money off of the earth. No, she was guided. Her reason for being put on this earth was to be a leader, to be a guide and a messenger for the earth. And that's the kind of way that you need to readjust your view of your situation, because you were emotionally connected to this. This is that cup energy. Like, this is just something that you just felt on a soul level that you were drawn to. And then all of a sudden, like, this kind of material aspect of it got in the way. And that was unhealthy for you, right? Especially the you that is also not just a Cancer moon, but an Aquarius sun. Okay? But I mean, in general, all this work, you have got the tenacity to do it. You have got the intelligence, like the emotional intelligence to do this. And in general, I think your just love for this topic is going to outweigh anything else. And that's what's going to help push you through. And it's going to lead to some recognition, absolute recognition for what it is that you did and do. And be, you know, a mentor or a guiding light. You could be a teacher to someone else. I think this is a really holistically beautiful card. The biodiversity is rich in this card, and it shall lead you forward. All right, thank you very much, my Cancer moon and my Aquarius sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support, and don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, my Cancer moon and my fellow water sun, Pisces. You got the Two of Cups. So this is the only clear deck where this may be a love relationship. And what I'm seeing here is it actually could be a soulmate opportunity of a relationship. Something has just gone amiss. And the energy got toxic between the two of you. And this could be because, and we've all been guilty of this, we gave up too much of our own agency in a relationship to accommodate the person we love. Because we are, so like when we get into something, and especially this true love type of love, you know, this, you want to be with them all the time. You want to make time for them. You want to message them. You want to hear from them. You want to cuddle with them. Like all these aspects of a relationship. And it could have gotten way too clingy and way too tight. And now someone is trying to push away because they just don't feel like they have any of their own identity left in the situation. And what it is telling you to do, both of you, I think, it's not related to either one. I mean, to you as a separate being, as you are now connected as a whole almost, these two cups being one, is that you both need to reconnect to who you are and why you fell in love with this person. What attracted you to this person? Because just because it's a soulmate possibility and a soulmate energy does not mean it's going to be easy or that it is even you're even going to stay together. Because all of it is work. And if you don't address this situation, and in the world here tells me that you guys are going to address it and you're going to come out of it as a whole new relationship, a whole new way of seeing each other and seeing your relationship in the world. And it's going to come up, but it is going to have to be based on a healthy Queen of Wands energy and a healthy King of Cups energy. Because between the two of you, I feel like whichever, not gender specific, this is the energy of one of you and this is the energy of the other of you. And this one was not fulfilling their role as the Queen of Wands, and this one was fulfilling the toxic role of a King of Cups, because it became imbalanced, right? And it became out of whack. And it is just telling you that there's a little work that needs to be done. There's some communication that needs to happen. You need to be honest about your feelings. And you might actually need a mediator to come in and help you to kind of both discover that you're meant to be for each other, instead of listening to your friends who may not be that same voice. Rely on family and see what they see what they think, and be honest with yourself. Let's see if any visions in this one. Wants me to focus on this one. One of your first dates, or one of the things that you guys really connected with, is your love for the outdoors and going on trips. And you might like camping or something like that. Now, you might have stopped doing these kind of things, which you need to try, like, you take a trip out to whatever and have this talk and whatever, and get through some issues, or you guys each need to take a trip out into nature on your own and reconnect with that energy. Take a weekend away from each other and go out. You know, yeah, sometimes you need to vacation away from each other as a couple. And because to replenish your energy, you really need to be yourself and with yourself, right? So I see that there's some real opportunity for this love. I just feel like you guys have been smothering each other, and you need to get away and reconnect with that energy, that refreshing or that replenishment energy, because you've also been stressed in other situations in your life, and it's not helping your relationship. Like I said, this is where you are. This is a situation around you, and it could definitely be affecting your relationship, even though this is an opportunity for real, true love in your life. And that true love could be with an Aries or a Leo. Those are the only ones I'm really seeing. Because this is, yeah, Leo, and this is a fire sign ruled by Pluto. But, yeah. All right, that is what I'm getting for you. I mean, it could also be a Scorpio, because although this is a water sign, so I'm getting that this, since you are both a Pisces and a Cancer, that you're the water sign in this situation. So you're most likely this King of Cups, all right? Not gender specific. And you could be dealing with a fire sign. Which, man, if you're a water and a fire sign, you know, getting together, you know, it's already against odds. All right, enjoy actually the breathing exercise that is right after this video. Also, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. And, yeah, love and light. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focus in on the sounds.